You're listening to the Reluctant Adult Podcast. If you like what you're hearing, follow us on social media and leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. This is the way.
I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. There's a million.
Let's work from the internet. Ecto Glow Fuck Yourself. Speculation runs rampant after factory leaks reveal Hasbro Real Ghostbusters cast in that familiar glow-in-the-dark plastic. Plus, the most comic-accurate live-action Batman production stars Jason Bateman hawking insurance. And Walmart Collector Con is back to empty our wallets and break our hearts. Look, Big Daddy, it's regular Daddy. It's the Reluctant Adult Podcast.
Don't you be a dummy! Buckle your safety belt!
Think, Billy. It's morphin' time!
Welcome to another episode of the Reluctant Adult Podcast. My name is Paul, and I am joined, as always, by the man who can consume feculence and expire. Bill!
Hi everyone. Is that code for a Whitman's chocolate sampler and then just pass out?
Yes.
Oh.
No, that is from Severance this week.
Oh, of course it is. Yes,
The
because this is now
character-
the weekly Severance podcast. Yes.
We only got 1 week left of it. I gotta savor it. The character
I did
Milchek-
hear it's extra long, right? Next week, or the series finale,
So,
season finale is extra long.
We were told that the finale was going to be 76 minutes because the last 2 episodes have been very short. This week was 45, and the previous week was like 30 something. It was real short.
Ooh, that's too bad.
But then Apple TV puts up the preview with like the title and the description, the very vague description, and then the runtime. And the runtime only said 45 minutes, and people were losing their mind. That's not enough. That's not enough for all the things that we have to wrap up.
No.
But thankfully, that was incorrect, or at least according to Ben Stiller. The finale will be 76 minutes, so strap in. Get ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you
I'm
ready?
Yes.
Let's get ready to suck it. Did you get that reference?
No.
A lot of potty talk starting off the show. That is, of course, what D Generation X would say when they would get in the ring, because it used to be like a play on Michael Buffer, who would do "Let's get ready to rumble." Because Nitro, they had Buffer come out every single week and to do that stupid thing. I can't imagine how much they paid him. I can't imagine. Suck it. That's
Suck
just
it,
for
kid.
us. That's just a little inside joke for us. No one else can. All right.
know that one.
All
That's
right.
great.
All right. I know I put more. I'm going to refresh my feed here because I know I updated something. Top story of the week. We actually covered this last week. And it got a lot of traction. We got a lot. It was actually really interesting because people would reference that the Ecto Glow Ghostbusters would come back, and then they would cite us as their source for the information. That's pretty nice, right? We are a primary source for information. I love that more than anything. We might not have the most people listening, but we are a trusted source for rumor and innuendo. So
I haven't felt that good since that podcast mentioned us with the whereabouts of Collector's Crush. That's nice.
Wait, what happened? I don't
remember. Early on. We were on a YouTube podcast, this podcast.
Oh, because they
looking for Where
they were doing their
Crush
Unsolved
went.
Mysteries parody.
Yes,
reference
and
because
we
had
were mentioned.
talked about them. Yeah.
Yes.
I still want to know. What happened to them. I really think I saw her. I really think I did. There's not. It can't be too many eye patched ladies walking around. But
I don't know. In your state,
someday. In my state, yeah. The gators, they get you. They get part of you. You survive. It's either a shark or a gator. It gets a piece of you. But you live another day. But
right.
Anyway, Ghostbusters. So last week we had pictures of the Buddy Ghosts, which was pretty good. And now this week, these started popping up on eBay. People are over in the factories. Hasbro's got to lock down their shit. People are stealing their shit and selling it before you had starting lineup. Now you got Ghostbusters. What's going on over there?
Oh my!
Tighten your ship, Hasbro. Yeah. So these are cast in glow in the dark plastic, except the heads, which is accurate. And the stamp on the bottom of the foot, 2020, which would be the new molds that they made back then for those original re-releases. And here's the masks.
Oh, stop.
The glow-in-the-dark masks. So this is funny. So is it like they got slime? Because these are just their faces. It's like...
Yeah, and that was the original gimmick. It was just their faces. It was like a plussed-up version of their face as a mask.
It's just a mask. But it's like... Why wouldn't you just make their heads glow in the dark? I guess this is the way to take away the glow in the dark feature. Just kind of funny. And then you can see they do actually glow in the dark, which is great.
Oh,
it'll be super interesting. Well, I sold mine, but you still have yours to compare the glow. And I don't know if it's like faded over the years, those original ones, but has glow in the dark.
I mean,
it's just
let's get those out next week.
Is it made of plutonium? Like, what is glow in the dark plastic? Like, how is it made?
I feel
and
like
has it changed over the years?
I mean, I think I have several glow in the dark items that still retain that original glow. I think the paint, if it's a painted glow in the dark, I think that tends to fade more. But if it's molded glow in the dark, If we want to bring back an example of the Casper hand puppets from Pizza Hut, they still glow perfectly.
Still got their glow,
The best part about it is we have access now to much brighter lights and much more light sources than we did back in the 90s and 80s.
Is that true? Well, we have different.
I mean, I feel like it's already. I can get a black light. I can get an LED. I can get a super bright LED. I can get a flashlight that has 3,000 lumens attached to it.
Lumen. Whoa.
Whoa.
Is that what that means? Yeah, you can get that flashlight that you can like blind pilots with that they have on TikTok shop or wherever. Please don't do that. Why would that be a selling point?
No, the airline's having enough problems. Blinding our pilots with our super bright lights. Don't do it.
My mom landed safely today, so she's gonna bring over some stuff, and then I have something to send back. I don't know if you can see it behind me, but I was over at Hollywood Studios.
Daffy
this week.
Mogwai that you loved so much.
But
regifting it to me.
No. I got you R2 Bunny or BNY
R2
or whatever.
Bunny. So
R2
you don't
Bunny.
know. So you don't know what my care package contains yet.
For me, that you sent to me.
Yeah, for you that I sent to you.
No, I don't. I have not.
Oh, how
I will
exciting.
get it tomorrow at the earliest.
I was hoping.
Yeah, I guess it would have been.
It
would have been good to have it. We'll talk about it next week.
That's okay.
So we'll talk about
it. Of course.
Yeah.
You prep.
Maybe have my mom on the show.
Nothing but garbage.
Be here by then.
Nothing but crap.
You sent me last time. You sent me this little dollar store vacuum. you were really hyping it up, like, oh, it's the best USB powered vacuum ever. First of all, I get it, and pun intended, it sucks. Does not suck well though. It did not pick up anything. And then the other part is my computer at work immediately started having issues. So I think that they preloaded this thing with like a Trojan horse virus or something. Like it was not good.
I should try it with my laptop and see what happens.
Do not plug it into your computer.
Okay.
Get a Goodwill computer if you want to test it out. But
I should.
Yeah. So let's wrap up this Ghostbusters deal.
Yes.
They're coming. we think they're coming. If not, someone has just decided to make their own bootlegs, which would be not unexciting. I don't know. That might actually be equally as exciting to get bootleg versions of these characters.
So we're just with these photos here. We're just seeing the 4 original Ghostbusters. We're not seeing Louis Tully, which interesting.
Which I kind of feel like that's because these are not new molds, as you can tell from the 2020 stamp. These are just those original. I think what they did is they 3D scanned those original figures.
Yes.
And then they updated the date stamp, obviously.
Right.
And they didn't do that for Lewis because was Lewis used in any of the other sets, like a Super Fright Features? I think he was in the jumpsuit, like that green. He was in the green, like turquoise, like dark, and he came with a fly swatter or something.
He had at least 2 iterations. Check. He had a maroon jumpsuit. It was the like Proton Pack Heroes where they didn't have Proton Packs, but they had like a grabber. Still heroes. Winston had like a buzzsaw that he could cut the ghost in half. And then he was in the Slimed Heroes set, which was the ghosts with the water feature, and they had the color change and the masks that they would wear. So there's at least
those are fun.
Precedent for 2. Yeah, they're great
and that
figures.
Was all the same jumpsuit mold for Lewis. He never got like a weird. Was he in the jumpsuit for both of those? I think so.
Yes.
If not, someone will correct us. So this was the 3rd Lewis re-release. But Hasbro didn't make them. They only have these original 4, and then they did the Fright Features.
Well, Lewis is big for San Diego Comic-Con, so maybe they'll release him then. You know,
that would be. That's
we
right.
always
they did
find
it for the Plasma collection. That's really funny.
Did.
I wonder. That's a really good idea. That's a
maybe
really
just
good
do a double pack with Janine, and because they did do a Janine in a jumpsuit as well. She does exist.
Yeah, why not?
They can 3D
you
scan.
Could just
why the heck
update
not?
It.
Just do a double pack.
That's what I'm saying. And then release these in movie accurate jumpsuits. I would buy a set of that.
And then at least make an Ecto Glow Ecto 1. I mean, just everything glow in the dark.
A Firehouse? Why not? Just everything glow in the dark.
Heck yeah.
What if
everything glow in the dark?
What if these are exclusive to Comic-Con?
What if? That's fine. As long as they're not exclusive to Walmart CollectorCon.
Well, that would be even worse. Yeah. Walmart CollectorCon was this week. I saw people griping about it, but then I also saw people posting links and everything was still up for pre-order. So was anything in stock? It's all pre-order stuff anyway, isn't it?
It is all pre-order. Some stuff getting released earlier than other things. Crystal Ball apparently coming to us by April 4th of next month. A couple
Dick
other
King,
things
you're talking about
in May.
King?
Dick King, the surprise sold out in 30 minutes G.I. Joe classified figure that nobody wanted, but everybody needed.
Nobody wanted
I think, I don't have the same relationship with the Dick King as other people do. I never saw him as a shelf warmer. I don't know if I was playing with G.I. Joes differently than everybody else back in the 80s.
He had that fun lenticular shield, right?
He did, and lenticular's always been great in my opinion. It's right up there with glow in the dark. It's just fun stuff. Glow in the dark,
neck and neck.
lenticular, and holograms, all incorporated into my toys, are just bangers right there.
Hologram was a little bit too witchcraft for me. I was like, I can't have this in my house. I don't know the science behind it. I can't trust it. Is it gonna steal my soul? Am I gonna get stuck in one of these little hologram shields? I don't know. I don't want it. I can't take that chance.
I don't get Walmart CollectorCon at all, though.
What's not to get? You pre-order stuff. Maybe you get it. Maybe you don't. Probably you don't.
Is it in the store ever? I feel like
in the store. Maybe.
I feel like it's rarely in the store, and I've got an example of something right here that I ordered. I told you about it. Came yesterday. From a previous CollectorCon, I was expecting it in May because it still said pre-order as of the date that I ordered it. But it's like the stuff doesn't show. If it's like a rare Walmart where it actually shows up at retail, like they don't do a good job, and it's more akin to like the convention where not everybody gets to go to it, and that's the exclusivity. And it's like, okay, it's online.
Right.
You have your chance to get it, but it might sell out quickly. It's just an odd precedent to have because, well, you see like the collector's section, or not even so much the collectors, those pre-made shippers that we talk about in the entertainment section that are loaded with horror stuff or pop culture stuff. It's like, why don't they do a collector con version of this stuff and just put that
sure
out?
There's a reason. You know, they've done this for so many years now,
too.
and it's never gotten better. It's always a
it has
clusterfuck.
not. So,
I
real
literally
quick, show and tell.
even care. I don't even try. Oh, show and tell. Okay, what you got?
Show and tell real quick, real early, just to get it out of the way.
You got? Early show and
This
tell.
was marked down from a previous collector con, and it's still up for sale. It's $15, and I'm impressed. This is the, what is it? Jack's Pacific King Homer.
Hey, and not King Kong Homer.
Not
just
King Kong.
Homer.
$15 and free shipping. This guy is terrific.
And you got it like immediately.
Yeah, you get it within a day.
That was weird. Everyone was getting it so
It
fast.
is. He's got little felted nipples. His head bobs. And he's so angry he wants to get out.
Does he have a wired body? Can you pose him, or is he like?
That's
plushy?
a good question. I'm not too sure. I think
Cuddle
he's
or
plushy.
can you pose? You can't do both.
For some reason, I thought he was an electronic stuffy, but he is not.
Oh no!
But that's okay for $15. Great.
Why
artwork.
was
It
he
looks like,
half off?
I don't
What
know.
happened?
I mean, I think they're like taking story notes from the side of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle packaging because it's like, here we go. It integrates. You're looking at the side of a TMNT.
You got a whole
like,
city.
I got a
That's
whole
interesting.
city. If I just
That's
put it
fun.
on its side, yeah. And then on the back, he's so
photography.
angry, he's busting out.
Busted makes him feel good.
Yeah.
I think I have this figure from the
Oh my
Playmates
god! And look
set.
at even the little restraints, even the little things to keep him in the package and not moving around are decorated in the animation of like chains.
Oh, that's cute. So
Yeah.
he's like tied up. Yeah.
Right. So he's
Because it
he's
does
fine
look
where
like
he
he's
is.
like you know, like Frankenstein on the table. He's got those
Right.
restraints on him. Yeah.
Say, wow! Look at the size of that platform.
Is this in the same universe as the other plush that Jax did?
Oh, the Krusty? But that one's electronic. That one talks.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. No, I'm thinking of the family because they have the whole family as plush, except Maggie.
Oh, we
Yeah.
haven't seen Maggie yet. I saw the four other
She-
the other characters.
You saw
mean, this
Marge
one's-
because Marge
I saw
is hard to
Marge.
find.
Oh, is she?
She must be exclusive to Walmart. She's like one per every other box they come in.
Okay, I keep
not at
looking at
Target.
them
I've
like
never
I got
seen
my
her at
Burger King
Target.
ones. I don't need it. But no,
I want
this
them,
is
but
this
not
is
full
larger.
price. Well, right,
course not.
but I just wonder if this is like a series, like plush, like if they're gonna do other plush, or this is
Right.
just like a rando. They just like decided to do some weird items, and this is one of them.
That's a good idea. I don't know.
Jax
didn't even notice. I
Jax was
didn't even
not at
notice the
Toy Fair,
restraints. No,
from what we understand. That's why we didn't see any Simpsons stuff. But they were somewhere because we saw those vehicles that they're making for the line. The Homer, you know, the family car, and then Homer
Yep.
Plow King and the plow.
Oh,
I
no
think
kidding! I
those
didn't
are-
see the plow. That's something.
Oh, I thought I sent you. I sent you like
You sent me the
screen caps of it
car
from the video.
Oh, I saw the
I
car.
thought I did. If you go back to our stories on Instagram, I shared it there. I think they're in scale with the little guys. It would be weird if they're not, but I cannot confirm.
I feel like you
but
can do
that's
a little
fun.
more with these tiny ones than.
They're so fun.
I mean,
They're
just
so
based
fun.
on the way Homer was sitting in the car, he was just kind of like off
Yeah.
kilter. But that's nice. We haven't gotten the
they're
family car
really-
since the Playmates days.
And then obviously the figures could not fit in it. How did they make
Well,
that work?
the figures were molded into it. That was the other
right,
thing.
right.
It was
right.
all
The-
pre-molded
the
with
regular
the
figures didn't have
Intellitronic.
any articulation. Mm-hmm. Or not leg articulation. I think they.
And
had
I think they
arms
made
and
a
head and
bus.
waist.
I think they made a bus as well.
I kind of remember the bus. Yeah. So I love that Jax is really trying stuff with these Simpsons figures. I'm definitely now more inclined to pick them up now that we've got a few sets out.
If the car exists, I'm more inclined to go and buy the house because that just seems fun.
That's true. But the house is just like like it's the living room. It's not really the house.
It's
if
the
you
living
turn it
room, but
around, is it a
on the other
sticker
side,
of
it's the house. Yeah, it's the facade of the house. And you
I don't
got
like
the
that it comes
facade
with
of
the
the Krusty
Homer,
Burger.
because I already have him. I want them to re-release it with like another character or something.
All right. Well, if that end cap of 1 million houses ever goes on
God.
clearance at your Walmart, just send another
Yes.
one up. Just put it in my pile of loot.
I will put that aside. Yeah, I don't think they've sold one, or they keep replenishing it. There's not a hole in the wall, not a brick missing from that wall. I think that's the problem with these lines is retailers overcommit on the first series, and then people, they get them, but they don't, not enough people get them. But then by the second and third series, they're ordering less, and there are more people that want it, and you get this problem of supply and demand being out of whack.
Yeah.
They can never quite get it right. They can never quite get it right.
Marge Simpson figures, and it's like, I'm not buying that.
Oh, seriously? Is that the aftermarket value?
Yeah, right now.
She's like not even officially out. Like they just started hitting that series.
Okay.
So hold on. They're gonna, the whole point of this line is to be able to get these figures. So I think they're gonna be able to. You're gonna find them.
I hope.
But maybe
if
not.
I see them, I'm getting them.
I saw for the first time I saw something from the little guys other than Series 1. And it was Series 3, I think, because it was Bart in his Camp Krusty outfit and hats.
Yeah.
That's Series 3. That's the newer set. Series 2, who was in Series 2? Maybe that Itchy and Scratchy.
Sideshow Bob was in it.
Right, and Krusty.
I think.
is
Sideshow Bob
there another one?
his prison
and then Bart
fatigues.
Right, which is weird. But then Bart with like the slingshot. He's like posed the whole slingshot. That's Series 2. So I never saw that one. I haven't seen that yet. All my targets still just have like Homer on the peg and maybe a Ned. I keep checking Five Below because they're getting them too.
Yeah.
So that's good. That's something fun to collect. And I'm probably going to pick up the larger figures too, but I'm not sure if I'm going to open them. I'm going to like see how many I can get because I like the packaging. It's so clean. Just nice. It's just nice and clean. All right, on the screen here, I have a picture of. I wasn't sure if this was a real photo of Funko Pops, because there are people out there that make like mock-ups, and they could be real. Like they look so accurate to what Funko does for these pops. This is Superstore. Now, did you watch Superstore when that was on the air? Or
I didn't,
even after?
It was too close to home.
It's too real. It's too real for you.
In the retail environment, yeah. I
really
never.
Funny. I love Superstore. I think it ended sort of weird because it was one of those shows that incorporated COVID into the story.
Right.
So they had like people in and that was like too real. It like they should have not done that. But it was really funny. I actually restarted watching it this week before this announcement, before these photos went up. So I was like, oh, that's really funny. They've chosen 3 characters here. Now I don't know if they're doing like a like a 2-pack or like another set or something. But you have Dina, Amy, and then I forget the man's name, the character's name. He's in a wheelchair, but the actor is not in a wheelchair, which I always think is like, why didn't you cast somebody that was actually in a wheelchair? Why'd you make the character in a wheelchair? It's not even like integral to his character. No Jonah, and Jonah is like the main character of the show, and then Glenn of Kids in the Hall fame, amazing character. He sounds like Kermit the Frog. He's very funny. It's like, I guess you got to pick 3, and maybe they thought these were the most like dynamic looking characters, and like they had to put Amy in there. I don't know. It's so weird that they don't have Jonah, but he would have been like a very plain white guy. Like there's even an episode where there's a mannequin that looks like him, and they dress him up in all different things because he's just like a generic white guy. But it's just weird if they never do like the main character of the show. But maybe they're saying that Amy is the main character of the show. I don't know. I feel like it's Jonah's journey, but whatever. They end up together in the end. So, I still want. I'm thinking of Pops. I like Pops sometimes. I like to dabble in Pops. They're good for like Mad Men, where it's like they're probably never gonna do like action figures of Mad Men.
Right.
And then The Office. Like, we saw this week that McFarlane is going to do Movie Maniacs, The Office, at least Kevin. Maybe that'll be it. Right. But they've done a lot of The Office pops, and they're in their, like, specific, like, episode-specific looks. They tried to like.
I mean, I just
what's the most
saw a new wave of
toyetic
Parks
look?
and Rec pops.
Yes,
Which was
I saw
which was
Leslie.
something.
Yeah,
I saw Ron Swanson with his pyramid of like greatness or whatever it's called.
that's right. Yeah, men at the top.
I thought
and
about
meat
getting
at the
him
top.
because I was like, man, my Ron needs a friend for his other Ron. But
Who's your
I
Ron?
held off.
You have one.
I
Pop?
have the original pop of Ron
You have the original
on my office desk.
Sure. The
because
pops
I
have
always
gotten
enjoyed the
better because
character.
they've made the bodies so much more toyetic, like they're
Yeah.
expressive, not just like arms straight down. So like depending on how early those original sets are from, like this maybe
Oh,
like
sure.
the first set of Power Rangers was from the before times, and then they did
Right.
like an updated set. There's just so much more visually interesting. Like it's night.
Yeah,
and
they
day.
are. Well, what was that brand that Hasbro put out? They were vinyls. Do you remember those? They wound up at Five Below a
yeah.
lot. That's what I think of those early pops. They had those very
Right.
static arms that were just kind of out. Mighty Mugs, was that what it was?
Mighty Mugs, yes.
Mighty
They
Mugs.
were like everybody. There was one body. I think that was the gimmick because it was
Okay.
like they were all like designer vinyl was all the rage at the
Yes.
time.
right.
So it's like what can we do with one body? And then like Disney had blind box Mickey Mouse, and every body was a Mickey Mouse sculpt, but then they using
Yes.
the design, the paints, and everything made it into
Right.
other characters. So that was like the challenge of it.
And you could trade those. It was like almost like the pin trading was.
Sure,
Go
anything with
in and-
Disney, you could trade. Yeah.
Trade. I'll trade jobs with you. I don't know what your job
Yeah,
is.
I'm
Better
gonna
than
work
mine.
Pirates today. I want to work food. I like Mighty Mugs. Okay, they. I think I have I think behind me I have the Logan because it's
Yeah.
like he came with a removable cowboy hat. I thought that was fun.
They got weird at the end because I think they incorporated a spin feature in the face.
So that was like a relaunch more
Okay.
recently, like in the past 5 years. They brought them back. They were smaller, but they kept the Mighty Mugs branding. But yeah, they had multiple faces, like expressions, like a Lego
Right.
person. So you would
Like
press
Hulk
them
could be
down or
neutral
something.
and then angry.
Yeah,
Right.
and those were the worst.
Yeah.
Because they took something that was like a collector's item and they totally made it a kid's toy, and you can't. That's like you never do that. You can't go.
No.
You can't do that. It doesn't work.
Don't
Yeah,
alienate
it goes
us.
the other way. You can go the other way. What was that?
I said, don't alienate us.
Don't alienate us unless it's a fun filter that makes us look like an alien, and it's called alienate. Look at that. Yeah. So those are pops. Those are her thing. There was another one, but I don't think I took it because I didn't care.
Yeah.
Last week we talked about what is it called? The electric umbrella or electric boogaloo or something? You know that
Electric
that
Gigolo.
Electric
No,
Gigolo.
the Electric State. The Electric State.
Millie Bobby Brown, and apparently Bobby, not her real middle name, it's Bonnie, like the villain
Yeah.
from Toy Story 4, but she changed it so people would be like, "Oh, Bobby Brown," and then it worked because she got a job. And then
Right.
Bonnie is a villain. We've all agreed that Bonnie is the villain of Toy Story 4.
Worst. Yeah, and probably the
She does
fifth
not take
movie as
care of
well.
her toys. We
Doesn't
all
take care
agree.
of her toys. 100%.
We can talk about this later, but Bonnie is a villain.
You're sleeping on the couch
then
tonight,
Chris-
Paul. How dare you?
Hell no. What are you talking about? That's all it takes. One disagreement. You're on the couch. No. And then Chris Pratt is in this movie as well, doing apparently a Star-Lord impression, but it's got terrible reviews. It's got terrible reviews, but that honestly makes me want to watch it more. Well, we watched Guardians tonight. I let my son has finally started watching the live-action Marvel stuff. Last week we
That's
did
nice.
the Avengers, which was nice to revisit.
Yeah.
It's aged okay. Some things are very bad. There was a line that Tony Stark, Iron Man, had that was like so cringy, and it's like, how did they keep this in the movie? It was so bad, but I forget now.
This
But yeah,
was,
we did
was
Guardians
this your first
this week.
Avengers?
This was the first Avengers, yeah.
So I had, what
Introducing
was that?
him.
Josh Whedon wrote that, so he
That
had
was a Josh
some,
Whedon production. Some
some
questionable
cringy
things.
cringy dialogue always
He's very
incorporated with him.
cringy. He
Yes.
has been erased from Hollywood. But the Electric State is directed by the Jonas Brothers or whoever they
Yeah.
are. You know,
The
yeah,
Russo
you know,
brothers.
The Russo
That's
brothers.
correct. Yes.
The Russo brothers who are coming back to do the new Avengers, and this is not a
Yeah.
great sign that this movie is being received so poorly. They're supposed to be the savior of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it's not looking great.
Well, we saw this similar thing real quick with the showrunners and writers for Game of Thrones. Remember, they were tapped to do the next Star Wars trilogy at one point.
Very good example.
We had the series finale of the final season of that Game of Thrones, and it just tanked so hard.
They speed ran through it because they wanted to get. They were so excited to write Star Wars, and then they didn't get to do it because they fumbled the final season so hard.
Oh,
there's a lesson in there somewhere, kids. But take
your time.
The reviews are so bad for the Electric State that I honestly want to see it because it has a I won't say a good cast, but it's got like a very notable cast. Like there's a lot of famous folk in this movie, including Mr. Peanut, voiced by who voices him?
Better not be Pete Davidson.
No, it's Woody Harrelson, I believe, voices the Peanuts. But it's like like kind of like steampunky, like retro future, which I think I'm fine with that. I enjoy that. So from a aesthetic point of view, I wonder if there are any, like, is McFarlane putting out toys for this? Is anybody lined up to make toys from this Mockbuster?
Other than Mockbuster. That's something.
Mockbuster.
Yeah. So there's been Funko Pops, and then didn't you enjoy?
Well, of course, yes.
Didn't you enjoy the last Chris Pratt Netflix movie that? What was it, Tomorrow War or whatever it was?
You always bring this up because I think I did like it. It was like a Christmas movie. It was right around. It wasn't a Christmas movie, but it was released around Christmas, and I did tell you to watch it, and you hated it. Right. You always bring that up.
I did.
It's just like I also liked the Jason Bateman movie that they put out right before Christmas this year, where it's like in an airport, and people didn't like that either, but like it's just like a fine movie, and it was on Netflix. It didn't cost anything. I thought that was fine. I had no qualms with that movie. So
Jason Bateman's in a new State Farm insurance commercial as the Bateman, and they have a very good Joker.
So funny. Yeah. This guy, they showed a picture of him without his makeup, and he looks like a combination of Jack Nicholson and I don't know, someone else that looks like the Joker. Like he was born to play the Joker. His face was born to play the Joker, and it's a State Farm commercial, but still, like, how much money did they put into this? Is this like soft launch of the new DC universe? Like they're like, let's try it and see how people react.
Why wasn't this a Super Bowl commercial at that point?
Another good question. This would have been a fine Super Bowl. Like this would have been a big
this
deal.
Would have been a highlight. Yes.
They probably spent all the money on the commercial, and they didn't have the money to buy the spot, buy the time, which is fine because we still get to enjoy it. And there's like different cuts of it, and they did like behind the scenes. Like they definitely are getting their money's worth. But yeah, they have Batman's Rogue Gallery, and then Jason Bateman plays Bateman and not Batman. But the Batman does show up, and he looks very similar to the like the most recent Snyderverse Batman, I think.
Okay.
But it's not it's not the exact costume, but it's similar. And there's a Batmobile, which is pretty good. Mm-hmm. Like they did a nice. This was Buddy well spent. These might be the most comic accurate live action adaptions of these characters that we ever see.
McFarlane, if you're listening, get them out now. While you can.
Could he do it? Do you think he could do it? I bet people would buy him.
Wouldn't it be funny if he was like, instead of you getting Alfred, you get Jake from State Farm?
Get Jake from State Farm.
You figure? It'd be great.
Somebody needs to start making, because people, well, I was going to say people see these commercial people more than they see any like movie people, but nobody watches commercials. You're all on streaming, and like you zone out for the 30 seconds they have a commercial up.
Oh,
so
sure.
It's rare to see a commercial, especially like one that gets this kind of traction. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how long, because it's got like pretty good word of mouth right now, which is a funny thing to say about a commercial. But it's like, will this generate so much buzz that they do something else with these looks? did they like shoot enough footage they can pump out another or like a spin-off, because you see Poison Ivy and Two-Face.
Yeah.
Give them their own little side adventure. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
Real
But
quick,
then
Batman related.
Sure.
So before bed, I'm playing with my kid, my son, and we're playing Batman, and he's got the little, the little Imaginext Batman, and those figures and everything, and we're fighting, and then he incorporated Spider-Man into it, which was funny. So we're playing, and all of a sudden, I hit the guys, and then he hits me back, and he goes, I'm going to do one more thing here. And then I do it, he does it, I go, all right, to be continued. And he was like, what does that mean? And I just stopped the play right there and walked away. I go, he goes, what does that mean? And I'm like,
just left him.
To be continued in the next episode. We're done. And he's like,
That's it.
When's the next episode? And I'm like, we'll do it tomorrow. He's like, well, what's it going to be called? And I'm like, The Dark Knight Fights Back. I don't know. And he's like, I can't wait.
Batman will return in Sunday
Perfect.
night's play.
Perfect way to end the play. It's just to get up, say to be continued, man, and then walk out the door.
Always leave them wanting more. Always leave them wanting more.
Yes.
Well, of course, the famous to be continued is in the Kenner Aliens comics, where the line ended, and then the little pack-in comic said, to be continued in your imagination. Thanks! Thanks so much. So we get, is it canon? Whatever we decide then? Is that what you're saying, Kenner? Fine. Well, this show will continue in just a moment because we will be right back. All right, we finished the first half of the show talking about DC, so let's keep on rolling with this. Keep this train rolling. McFarlane put out new photos of Final Suit Riddler from their Batman Forever line. So the actual look of the costume is very bedazzled. Lots of sparkles, which would probably be impossible to replicate on a 6-inch action figure. This is that original Joker body mold, the bodysuit. It's got a new head with the crazy hair. Great. Look at all the wristbands. That's just not how the human body works. It just looks weird. I think a lot of people would have voiced their opinion that they would prefer the other suit of Riddler with the because I'm thinking the very first one he steals from that the fortune teller thing from Big, and he takes the costume. Does he ever wear that?
It's got a bowler hat,
right?
No,
does he ever wear that?
No, he doesn't. No.
I'll look this up. But then there's another suit. What is the other suit?
His power suit that he wears to emulate Bruce Wayne.
Let's
The straight jacket at the end where he's Batman.
Turn on the old Google machine and see. He does wear the bowler because he is pictured here. The first heist where he meets Two-Face, he wears that jacket, the classic question mark Riddler look.
Okay.
But I guess that's it. Oh, and then if Todd is going to do this final Riddler, they need to give the melted head where he gets too much power or whatever.
Right.
And he gets all messed up. Yeah. But I think people wanted the question mark suit that looks like the guy that used to be on late night TV where he would be get a $10,000 to start a business. Do you remember that guy, the question mark guy?
Yes, I do remember the question.
What happened to
mark.
that guy?
Wow.
And where's my money? Was that a real thing
He got
this whole time?
He got all our money from us and moved to a private island with lots of question marks.
That's the way to do it. I'm telling you. We're all going to have to go to our own private islands. So, I'm sorry. Is that a little... is that too political for you?
No, I'm just thinking
sucks.
of my own private... I'm just thinking of my own little private island. Who I would invite. Probably nobody.
It's private. Yeah, you got everyone gets their own space. No one is allowed to intermingle. Oh. It's like Yellow Jackets, I assume. I haven't actually seen that movie or show.
They're from Canada.
I feel bad for Canada. Okay. So Riddler not a Build-A-Figure. He doesn't come with like an alternate head for that big bat, I guess.
He doesn't come with the big chair or anything like that. We're just seeing
he should come with something. This is like such a lame figure if he doesn't come with like anything. He's gonna look so lonely in the packaging. But nothing has been pictured here.
He looks like, I mean, I don't know if I ever liked the final costume all that much. I think they did release a version of it
in the Kenner days.
In the Kenner days, I think they did. And it was electronic, potentially.
What?
It had an electronic feature. I think so. No, I think it spoke. I don't know.
It came with the backpack. Yeah, I'm seeing it here. It says. Yeah. It talked. Yeah, it was exactly that.
Oh, okay, very good.
And a giant question mark that would shoot out of it. I miss Kenner. I guess Spin Master is replicating these, not re-releasing because they're not the same molds, but they're like copying them and re-releasing them. But they like went too safe. Like, I want this crazy shit. Like that original Riddler figure came with like a backpack with a capture claw. Like that's what I want.
It wasn't a capture. It was potentially a capture claw, but it was like a headpiece that you could put on. It was like a brain drain, like a hoop. Right.
Which is like, yeah, exactly. You would plop over the top of the guy.
Two-Face came packing, and he also came with his own replica coin. And then he had that triple barrel cannon that like stood next to him.
That was so good.
Fantastic stuff. It was.
I love that his gun was molded in his hands.
It was the blurst of times.
Drop your gun. I can't. It's attached to my hand. They thought they didn't want to make an extra accessory. They left it in there. These are great figures. I'm going to pick these up and hang them up somewhere. Back to present day, though. The DC, also McFarlane, doing Jeremy Irons' Alfred from the Snyderverse. We were all clamoring for that. Here's a very exciting figure. This is not a Build-A-Figure.
If only it was in scale, you'd get some kind of suit attached to it, but...
Who, me? Like I would use it for a custom?
Yeah, you.
No, I was disappointed because he's just in the vest. Like I don't know what character I could use this for. But like you said,
so many wrinkles in that vest.
It's very wrinkly. And look at the art. Look at the sleeves. He's a butler, and he's this wrinkled. Good Lord, he needs to go back to buttle school. His glasses look terrible.
He's got no time to iron. He's Jeremy Irons. He should be ironing.
He's the Irons man. He's iron
your shirt, Jeremy Irons.
Man. Iron your shirt. Lots of wordplay. But most importantly, Wendy's bringing back their little 3 muscle men DC characters in a box promotion for their kids meal.
Oh.
So Batman is in this one, comes with Robin and Harley Quinn. No Superman, which apparently was a licensor request to not have Superman, I guess, to not compete with the Superman movie, because this is going to be out at the same time, right around. Are we getting
is a different fast food restaurant getting a promo for Superman that we don't know about?
It could be. You're right. So they didn't want to confuse anyone. So these came out last year. The first set came out last year or the year before. I don't know. But these are all new from that old one.
Do you feel like there's that much confusion in mass market fast food promotions that like a parent's going to be like, no, you already got the Superman. I've already played this story, Jimmy. You already got a Superman kids meal from Wendy's.
You're not tricking me. Yeah. Or it's
you
like,
imagine that? That's the.
Wait a minute. I thought Burger King had the DC kids meal, but this is Wendy's. Wait a minute. I'm losing my mind. I'm never going to shop here again.
That's it. I'm going to Arby's.
That's it. Yeah, that's when you know you had enough. Like, you know what? Arby's doesn't play around. They have their fake kids meal. I'm just going to get some curly fries, a nice Jamocha shake, and call it a day. That's all I'm going to do. Yeah, licensors are always so concerned about brand confusion. But then you have a million different versions of Batman on TV. But that's why, like, when they did the Batman, the cartoon, you couldn't have Ra's al Ghul, because it was like that cartoon was out at the same time as Batman Begins. So it's like any character that appeared in that like live action Batman could not appear in the cartoon.
Oh, so, interesting.
Two-Face, I guess. There was no Two-Face, but they did Joker, but he was like bohemian Joker with dreadlocks, and like he never took
he was
off.
pretty wild.
He never took off the straitjacket. He just made it part of his clothing. So stupid looking. But at least it wasn't like a Mark Hamill ripoff, which every Joker since has been.
Are these new sculpts, or is this something?
Yes, these are all new sculpts.
re-released?
I think they're all new characters,
Okay.
except I think Batman was in the first set. And maybe Nightwing and Batgirl, I think I remember. So I think these are all supposed to be new characters and new sculpts, which is great. I have a bunch of the first ones. I asked my wife to get them for me for Christmas that year because I love them so much. And I like I always like, I'm going to paint them up. I'm going to paint them up and they're going to look so nice. I'm like, I'm never going to paint these. So like, I'm just keeping them this color. But the trick here is every 3-pack is available in 3 colors. So there's 6 different collections of sculpts, and then there's red, green, or not. What was it? Are these the color? Are there 4 colors? Red, green, blue, and gold? Holy, is gold like rare? I want the gold ones. I think there's a little key that tells you what color you get without opening it, so you can like trade it back. But I don't have that information in front of me. But Wendy's, they've done really well with the kids' meals. They had the Frosty Halloween Friends this past year. That was great. And they're doing these now. They have like little like fidget robots right now, which are actually kind of fun because there's one that has like a trigger on top that's like the N64 controller, you know, that like I could never hold it correctly. Like who could? Yeah. They wanted you to hold the N64 controller with your left hand on that middle part and use your fucking thumb to move the joystick. Like, no. Who could do that?
I feel like you had to hold it different ways to play different games, obviously.
Depending on the game.
So
I held it like this. Like I used my pointer and my thumb to move the joystick, and then all my other fingers were up like a spider moving around.
I held when I played GoldenEye, I held the middle.
Oh, okay.
Like you would the Wii nunchuck, I would hold that to use.
Well, that's
the
what I
toggle.
think was the intended way to hold it.
And then I would hold,
but I
would
not.
shorten it. I think I shortened the remote in doing so because I had everything on the left side, and then I had the center to toggle, and I was completely ignoring the right side of the remote control.
I don't even know. I never played GoldenEye on the N64. I played it when remember that week like a year ago when the emulator app was available in the Apple Store, and everyone was like, "Oh, I'm playing Mario 64 and GoldenEye," and I was like, "This is the greatest thing ever." Like 12 days later, I was like, "I'm never touching that app again."
We're gonna be doing this until we die. And I'm just like, I haven't picked it up since.
I even bought like little like extra things to put around my phone to make the controller work. And then nope, never. Because then I was like playing Fortnite on my phone, but my phone is not it doesn't have enough RAM like the Switch, so it's like not as good an experience. A gaming experience. So it's like I'm just gonna play the Wii or the Wii, the Switch.
Play the Wii. Right.
The Wii. I never got anything beyond the Wii until we got the Switch. So there was like the Wii U and maybe another one, but I'm not upgrading to the new Switch. Why? It just got a bigger screen. I'll just hold the thing closer to my face. Why does it need to be bigger? Just hold it closer to your face.
My wife keeps asking my daughter, she's like, "Oh, you want to get the new Switch and give the old Switch to your brother?" And I'm like, "Why do we need the new Switch?
Why?
Why?"
Maybe there are like games that need
there's always
processing power. But it's like I'm
Yes,
literally
there's
playing
always that
Fortnite and nothing else on this thing. I do not need my son is playing Mario whatever and then like Kirby. And I was like, I don't feel like they need the latest processor to play those games.
No. I mean,
maybe
my kid's still doing the Minecraft thing. So.
Yeah. These kids, they don't need this shit. They don't need it.
They don't need it.
If you need that kind of stuff, buy a gaming computer. And we're not.
They don't need realer than real. Life's hard enough. My daughter today saw a gentleman lose his shit over a cabbage, which was wild times.
I need you to tell me more. What happened with this cabbage? Tell me about this.
My parents had my daughter for the day. They found out that their local store had run out of cabbage for boiled dinner for St. Patrick's Day. So they
That's right.
rushed up. Coming on Monday, yes.
That's right.
So they rushed up to Market Basket, the Northeast area's premier grocery chain, which everyone loves. And my mother, being who she is, if she sees something out of place in one section,
Yeah.
moves it
That's
to where it
nice.
belongs.
That's good.
So she, in looking for the cabbage, she found a cabbage nestled in a end cap worth of potatoes. She said that doesn't belong there.
That's
so
not
she
where
grabbed
that
the
goes.
cabbage.
Yeah.
She grabbed the cabbage and put it back to where the rest of the
Cabbage
cabbages
section.
were.
Yeah.
She didn't take it for
The
herself
little
or anything
spritzer,
like that.
The little spritzer.
Gentleman walks around the corner, goes, "Where's my cabbage? Did you take my cabbage?" And now my father's there with my mother. My daughter's there with my mother.
Yes.
All together.
Yes.
My mom goes, "No, sir, it's right over here." And she goes, "Here it is," and she hands it to him, and the guy literally goes, "Yeah, it was there, it was mine, and guess what now?" And he lifts it up over his head and throws it to the ground.
No!
And says, "Now it's on the ground."
Threw it on the ground.
And he threw it on the ground.
The last cabbage?
No, it wasn't the last cabbage. It was
okay. But it was his
plenty
cabbage.
of cabbage to be had.
He had
It was
picked it
his
out.
cabbage,
But
apparently.
he left it in the potatoes?
And
Was
he
like,
left it in the potatoes.
Was he
and
letting
came
it
back for it?
like ruminate? Is
I
it
don't-
that
it was
a recipe?
mingling.
They put it in the
I don't know.
potatoes for 20 minutes.
Put it in the potatoes. Go get a box of Lucky Charms and come back, and that's how you summon a
Sprinkle
leprechaun for the
a
night.
couple of Lucky
I don't
Charms.
know.
I thought they were trying to
So
create
he's
like,
there. My
Yeah.
mother's saying, "God bless you, sir. Just it's fine." He's retorting back apparently, "I don't believe in God. You're a hypocrite. You're a bigot. You shouldn't even your kid there shouldn't
Yeah.
even be near you." And my daughter's just going like this to the guy, and I'm like, "What the hell?"
And again, you did not film any of this?
I wasn't present, and
You gotta.
I was at
this
home
Is how you
waiting. I know.
become a millionaire in today's society. You film this.
Everybody should have body cams. That's how it is,
Yeah, I can get on
or
board with
something.
that.
I don't know.
We have them on the cars.
Yeah,
We're
no,
one
my
step
parents
away.
aren't the type to whip the phone out and like immediately start something. But yeah, that was the story.
I'd like to get
It was
the
all over a cabbage.
closed circuit footage of this from the
Sure,
stores.
right?
He throws it, and then did someone have to come clean it up, or like
That's
how
a good
did he
question.
leave
I don't
it?
know.
I need to know.
He
more.
eventually walked off after my
sure.
mother said, "Good luck with your Lucky Charms."
Oh, there it is. And then she dropped her imaginary mic. Damn.
Yeah.
What if he went to get like like other ingredients for? He got his what's the meat you get? The cabbage, corned beef. He went to get the corned beef, and he threw that on the floor too. And this is just how he does it. You just have to get it right in the dirt. Really get all those flavors. Pick up all those flavors.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry they had to go
shaking
through
my
that on the holiest
know.
of days for most people in New England. Good Lord. Good Lord, sir. Good Lord, sir. Good Lord, sir. I do feel bad.
It's
just
okay.
can't.
It's
People-
just you never know. You never know where a funny
No
story's
good
gonna come
deed.
from or something.
No good deed.
I guess that's the motto. That's just the lesson here is never move a cabbage out of place.
Never. Literally. This only applies to
Yeah.
cabbage. No, there's
Just
no
cabbage.
applicable, scenario other than cabbage.
Right.
Well, speaking of things that are out of place and places they should not be, somebody found another Super 7 Ultimate figure at Ross. And this one is a bit of a throwback because this is the glow-in-the-dark, I always want to say Moss Man or something else. It's Mutagen Man.
You always want
right?
to call him Muckman, but it's Mutagen.
I always
Man,
want to. That's
yes.
right. I always call them Muckman because we are very familiar with this figure because I think this was an Entertainment Earth exclusive, and they sent us
yes.
one to give away,
Right.
or they sent us one to review, and I was like, I'm going to give this away, try to get some more
Yeah.
juice out of it. So I remember doing like photography with this, and this is a glow in the dark figure that looks very nice. But this is from years ago. How did this end up? They just had it. And this one, I wonder if it came from Super 7 or Entertainment Earth. They're shipping their stuff over there. But this is an old boy, and this has been hanging out. So if you see him, $17.
Continues.
You said you wanted one, right? If I find it,
I'd love to. I have a glow in the dark Muckman that I'm looking at. I'd love a glow in the dark.
That's right. You love glow in the dark.
I do.
Those Ghostbusters can battle him if they ever actually come out.
Oh, wouldn't that be something?
I love that there's this like continuing pathway between Super 7 and Ross. It's like, they made a ton of this shit. It's like it's just sitting in a warehouse somewhere. Yeah, send it to Ross. I'll buy a lot of it for $15 a pop because they're good toys. They're just like way overpriced for any toy.
Yeah.
So that's fine. This is kind of funny. 2K Sports, I guess, makes the wrestling video games. Sorry, something popped up my screen. I have to close it. Okay. 2K Sports makes the WWE video games now. They've been doing that for a while. They look like really realistic now. Like the newest thing is if you hit a guy, it'll inflict damage,
inflict some injury,
and it stays.
Some bruising. Oh wow!
You can see he's maybe his kidney burst from that. Yeah, but he's got
some
bruising,
thrashing there.
Yeah, very realistic. It's too realistic at this point. But they released this still of CM Punk holding a kendo stick, and then I think this is Ethan Page. I was gonna say this is The Miz, but this is Ethan Page. You can see that they included CM Punk's leg tattoos. Now, CM Punk has a lot of tattoos and a lot of IPs. Like, there's a Pepsi logo on one shoulder. There's the Cobra from G.I. Joe logo on another shoulder. So they can't just put that shit out there. Like, they don't want to pay for royalties. The same with the toys. So usually they'll, like, make it different enough or just not include anything.
Sure.
So on CM Punk's legs, this is a newer tattoo that he's got since returning to wrestling. So he was gone for 10 years. He's got Princess Leia on one leg, and he's got Han Solo on the other leg. So I guess when he puts his legs together, they kiss. I guess that's the idea of it.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't know. But
sure,
obviously the company did not want to pay Disney to license out these characters. So Han Solo looks like he has become either
he's
Michael
Plissken.
Jackson. Is that who you think it is? I was saying Bret Hart to keep it in wrestling, but like sunglasses, long and curly hair.
I thought he had.
Definitely not Harrison Ford,
but it's
he might have an eye patch. I think it's sunglasses. So it's very funny.
Does he have like
I hope they had
pig
fun
nose?
with it.
Is that like a formed nose, or is it like? Does
I
he
think
have
it's
like a
just
grotesque nose.
I had to zoom way in to get this shot, so I think it's distorted. But he might.
Okay.
We'll get much better pictures when they. When people have this and they can zoom in game and see the models and everything.
Looks like, what's his name? Roddy Piper from
from They Live? I can see that. That would be
sunglasses.
Good. But then he's got, who did Princess Leia become? We can't see because the kendo stick's in the way. That'll be very interesting. Who is Roddy Piper, Bret Hart, Michael Jackson gonna kiss when this guy puts his legs together? I'm not familiar with that from Escape from New York,
figured they would just inch up the knee pads a little bit more and cover.
But they didn't. They had fun with
face.
It.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they had it. They put somebody there. I appreciate it. Right. I love that. Which the funny thing with these games is like you can customize your character and like you can move the tattoos around. So it's like could just it would be funny to see the video of this like sliding around his body to reposition it. There's gonna be some fun videos coming out of that. Speaking of wrestling, I want to do a little show and tell. You did a show and tell earlier. We're going to do another show and tell. Major Wrestling Figure Podcast. Big fan. Always been a fan of that show since the beginning. Matt Cardona used to be Zack Ryder in the WWE. I was a big fan of him because he embraced the internet before really anyone else did, and he had a YouTube show, and I was very interested in doing the similar things, so I was sort of like glommed onto him as a character and a wrestler, so I followed them all the way through. I have a lot of his toys. I have the Power Town toys that we showed off the other week. Look, these are very nice. So here's something to keep in mind. This was a 2-pack with Brian Myers. It was like $100 So this is like a $50 figure. It comes with a ton of shit, different heads, removable entrance jacket, ton of shit. Okay?
Lovely robe. Yes.
That's right. The robe is very that $50 worth it alone right there. So they have their own company. This is another thing I appreciate about them. They make their own toys. They've made a ton of what's called major bendies, which are like those old. I think it was Just Toys that made the bendies. Maybe someone else, but I never liked bendies, so I didn't get into those. I didn't like those. They upped their game in terms of size and quality, and they did what they're calling big rubber guys, which are a spiritual continuation of the LJN action figures, which were these larger rubber, like pre-posed, non-articulate figures, which I have no memory of. Do you remember these toys being in stores at all?
I do.
Okay.
At Geppetto's especially. I mean, I never was into wrestling back then, but then you'd see them. You'd see them a lot. I mean, I grew up on a military base, and I was thinking about it to myself. You'd see them in like bins, and you'd see them at flea markets, just all binned up and dirty. Those LJN figures,
the loose ones, they got beat to hell.
The loose ones, they got beat to hell because that was the intention, was that they were able to really just rough around and not
throw
break.
them at each other. Yeah,
run them over with their car.
They would not break.
People would be riding their bikes over them and like dragging them. They'd come out. They'd be all scraped up. I remember this.
Right. And then like if they were cast in a color that wasn't the skin color, that paint would wear away, so you would just have like the base plastic color showing through. But I don't remember them. I think the only thing I had were the thumb wrestlers, which were like the full body but smaller and like kind of hunched over, and they had like a hole in their back. You'd fit your hand in there. I think I had a few of those, like Big John Stud, I can remember. But anyway, Major Wrestling Figure Podcast, they started their company. It's now called Major. And they're doing big rubber guys, which is their fun, like, branding, which because they can't say LJN, but like you say big rubber guys, I guess that's just what you call these toys, like those big rubber guys, which I think is very smart. I think that's great branding. I've not been interested in collecting anything from that, but they did this Matt Cardona figure, and the design is just so toyetic, and it was sculpted by Brian Beatty, who has done so much great stuff, and he's worked in every aspect of toys. Like, he's done cereal prizes, and he's been sculpting for so long, and he does everything digitally now, which I think all sculpting is done digitally at this point. But he made this Matt Cardona, and I was like, I gotta get one of these. I want to check them out. So I got it. It's very nice. It's very nice. Look at this. This is a very toyetic look. Comes with the belt, comes with the crown. So this is my first experience with a big rubber guy. The packaging is made to be resealable. So it's only got like little fringes on the corners of the plastic. So you can peel, you can slide the backing right out without cutting tape or doing anything. And then it's got the clamshell inside. Peel that out. Oh, there's a nice smell too, that rubber smell. That's nice. I'm going to be a little loopy now. Take that out. Give me a second to recoup. Oh, there's the belt. The belt's got a little piece of tape to hold it in place, but you can, if it falls out, which actually mine showed up, the belt was out of the tray, but you can put it right back in. Look at this. This is a big guy. That's a big guy. So let me compare this to the Power Town. See, he's even bigger than him. Look at that.
Wow.
Look at that. He's just a big, thick toy.
Big rubber guy.
And he's a big rubber guy. And he's bendy a little bit. It's not like it's intended to bend, but it's made of a softer plastic where it's not going to, like, if you dropped it, it wasn't going to crack. Not going to shatter. But this is just so well done from design standpoint. And then it comes with a belt that fits around his waist and has a nice clasp. I actually really like the way they did the belt. It's one piece of rubber. It's not like it doesn't have plates or anything, but it looks so flat, which is how the belts are supposed to look. So I'm actually a really big fan of that. And then he comes with a removable crown because he's the deathmatch king. Pop that right on there. Look at that. Blah. So I'm a big fan of these. Now, the downside, how much do you think I paid for this figure?
Oh, $45.
Very close. It was $55, but it did have free shipping. So
Okay.
it's a little bit of a big chunk of change. And, compare that to the Power Town, which comes with alternate heads, soft goods, alternate hands. But this is a very unique piece. These, they've done a bunch of them at this point. You got to kind of pick and choose. I don't think, if you're a completist, God bless you, but I'm a big fan of this particular figure and this character, and I just thought this was, if I was going to get one, this was a good one to get. And like with all wrestling toys, they can do repaints, but he keeps saying it would be hard to repaint this because, he's not going to wear anything that looks like this, but, with alternate colors. So I don't really care about it from a collector standpoint. I'm not going to sell it. I just want to have it. So if you want to make a new one, that's fine, but this is such a good figure. So check those out. I think it might still be in stock, but they definitely didn't make a ton. So go get them if you want them. Get them if you want them. All right, let's see what else we got on our list. Went too far on blue sky. Very quickly, speaking of wrestling, Will Ospreay, he has an exclusive from the London show, and you can see it started shipping to people. He's got this soft goods. I guess his robe had a hood, and he's got the nice, furry, his winter coat. And I just thought this looked just like Han Solo when he's riding his Tauntaun. Like he's just ready to go out in the snow. The way he's covered up here. I don't know how accurate that is to the actual robe he wore, but when you shrink down soft goods, it's hard to make it make the fabric lay like an actual 1-to-1 outfit. So you get kind of silly stuff like this sometimes, but still a very fun figure. But I thought it looked like Han Solo riding a Tauntaun. So that's all I got on Blue Sky. Let me check my list to see what else we wanted to talk about. Oh, let's talk about this. So on TikTok at Special Bird, special request to talk about McFarlane doing Mortal Kombat, the classic Kombat. Did you get a chance to look at these from the Toy Fair coverage?
No, I did not.
Okay.
Was I
well, they're doing
to?
classic
I get
Mortal
homework?
Kombat.
Oh my
You
God.
got homework? No, I just wondered if you
gotta
came
tell me
across
I
these.
have homework. I'll skip it if I don't know.
No, I understand. I was never a big fan of homework growing up, which is a trouble being a parent and having to be like, do your homework. Let me see if I can spell this.
On the bus.
That's the way to
How's
do it.
homework laid out for your son? Does he come back night? Is it nightly homework, or do they give a packet for the week? And
No, it's nightly. It's nightly.
oh, really? So they give at my kid's school. It's one packet that they have to do for the whole week.
Mm-hmm.
And she comes back on Monday, and she's like, "I did my homework." And I'm like, "Where?" And she's like, "On the bus."
For the week?
For the week. It's 5 to 6 pages worth of homework.
That's why that doesn't make any sense.
Because
Because then you that's good for her if she could do it. But if kids try to do it, they're gonna not understand if they haven't done that lesson yet. No, I think they give them to him every night because we have to check his folder. But this teacher is pretty good. He won't give them homework on the weekend, so it's I think he's he kind of gets it. And these kids, what is this, second grade? Get out of here. Stop it. What are you doing? Let these kids be kids. You got them in school enough. Get out of here.
Yeah.
But thankfully, my kid, it seems like he's going to be very smart, and the math homework, he's already getting it right, and I try to correct it, and he's right and I'm wrong. I was like, well, what am I doing here?
It's that
It's not
new
even
math.
new math. It's just too many numbers, talking about time, number, money, and we're doing money and clocks now. It's I don't know. Analog clock, what? I could never do that. Oh, know what those things are pointing at.
And you want to encourage and not be like, son, none of it's going to matter when you're an adult because you're going to have an app for it.
Yeah, there's an app for that. Yeah. I try to say it's not about learning the specific skill. It's your brain needs to know how to learn stuff. You're just trying to teach your brain to learn things. It doesn't matter what you learn. We've just decided you will learn math. But yeah, he's doing fine. He's gonna be just fine. Gonna get those nice scholarships if we still have college and stuff by the time he is 18. So here's Todd's classic Mortal Kombat. It looks fine. It's it's like it's what you figure Todd McFarlane stuff are going to look like. Obviously we always compare Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. Street Fighter, I feel like, has had a much more generous action figure history. You had Soda Toys that did a great line. You have Jada Toys now doing Street Fighter. But Street Fighter also... G.I. Joe? Well, obviously G.I. Joe, sure. And there have been some...
Hasbro?
For Street Fighter, yeah. And I'm sure there's more. There's always, like, the imports, too.
Right.
But Street Fighter has not really changed the look of their characters so much, whereas Mortal Kombat, they made their characters very scary, like way too realistic. Yeah. And that's why Todd picked up the license, because he was doing those characters, those versions of the characters. So now he's going back in time to do the original looks, which are kind of, I think, intentionally generic, because you have the ninja, and then they would just change the color of his vest to make it a new character. So, like, not, Sub-Zero and then Scorpion are just the same design. One is blue and one is yellow. So it's like you couldn't make it too specific or it wouldn't work. So, I don't know. These are not exciting to me. I'm sorry. Special Bird. Is that what you wanted to hear? I don't care. I don't care about these at all. I also feel like McFarlane's particular style, it's a little too, like, the joints are too obvious, and it's like he's still got the pins. Like, I don't feel like they will pose well enough in fighting stances, but maybe these will be different. Maybe he'll sculpt these in such a way, or engineer them in such a way that they'll be better.
Yeah. I
just feel like there are companies that are more suited to do these kind of figures than Todd. But while we're talking about Todd, last week we talked about how he is doing Ninja Turtles, and they're going to be like legit figures, not just like those 4 points of articulation page punchers. And then we're like, everybody's doing Turtles. This is it. I also mentioned last week that I picked up one of the Loyal Subjects Shredder figures, and then we're like, what else are they doing? Well, apparently they're not doing anything else. The Loyal Subjects are not making... Not only are they not making Ninja Turtles anymore, I don't think they're doing their best action line anymore either. They apparently had none of it on display at Toy Fair, which means they're not soliciting new or current product to retailers. And obviously, we saw a lot of it at Ross. So much so that they made a post on their Instagram being like, now available at Ross. Like, they were embracing it. So I don't know if they made a lot hoping Target would sell it or Walmart, because Walmart was selling it.
Yes, they were.
But I think they're
Target
done.
Had some. Okay.
Target had some. They definitely did.
It was an odd.
I think
it is an odd thing
odd.
that kind of it went from just select figures from different properties to just kind of slowly all-encompassing Turtles.
Oh, the best action, right?
The best action, yeah.
They did like Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
They did the cartoon Beetlejuice, which was the only version of that character to ever exist, which I have. Yes. And then like they did some rock stars, some classic rocker. Yeah, it was like a hodgepodge of characters. Like you never got a full team, or like you got like one character from every property. But yeah, you're right. Those all got phased out, and it was just Turtles, and then it was being like IDW comic Turtles. Like that was the niche that they just decided to go with, and now it's over. But those figures, I never got one that didn't have like really weird engineering issues with it, like the joints would pop out, and they were just so strange. So I think it's for the best. And now we see the Loyal Subjects doing like throwback licenses. Like Gem, you said you saw those at Walmart.
I found she's in the car. I should have shown her off. That was a find.
Yeah.
So Walmart also has this bizarre, like you said, throwback end cap that makes it just appears, and you're like, wait, Polly Pocket. My Buddy is there right now. They have a 1/6 scale Carmen Sandiego that's not selling, but tucked away is this amazing Gem figure. And now Gem is the the trinity of Hasbro movies. The Hasbro-based movies. It was Transformers,
Oh, okay.
G.I. Joe, and
G.I.
Gem,
Joe.
all in '86. And then Transformers came out first. And they killed off Optimus, and that set the tone for the other two movies. Now, I was never a big Gem fan, but
Really?
No, but
Of course not. Who was? It was like it wasn't aimed at boys, right?
I bought this thing's
action
wild.
figures for
It
Gem.
comes with so many accessories. It comes
It's a
with
Barbie doll, right? Like
it's a
the
Barbie
12-inch
doll. But
it's a Barbie doll.
It comes with a sound feature, like the bass.
What?
Has the
Oh
song.
my God.
Yeah, it's
check this
it's
out.
wonderful. It's great.
Have good articulation. It must be a new body because it's not like they.
It's
like they
not based off like a
previously made
Barbie body
Barbies.
or anything.
This
It's
is
like
a new
it's like got some
product
heft
for
to
them.
It. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
You can check these out. I want to check them out.
And it's really difficult to find apparently. And I was just kind of like looking through that end cap, and I found one, and I was like, I gotta buy this.
Oh, do they only have Gem, or is Gem
They
the
only have
character? Or is
Gem
that
right
the
now.
band?
Gem is the
I
character.
saw
Wait,
the other
Gem is not the
players.
character. Gem is the band.
Gem,
right?
is it like each J, like GEM, or is it J? Gem?
Is it
I think it's
Danica?
totally. Was it outrageous? What is their little thing? Like truly outrageous. So the sound of us Googling. For
Wait,
those
where can I
listening
pick
to
this
the,
up today? Am I like less excited?
the
I can add it to
audio
the
podcast.
card.
Jerica
Derrica?
Benson.
Jerica.
Jerica. What the kind of name is this? Gem and the Holograms. Oh, so why is her name Gem if her name is Jerica?
That's her stage name. Jerica's her. Gem is. It's kind of like Hannah Montana.
Gem. Please give me another example. I don't know. That doesn't help me. I don't know what
You
that
know
means.
how Miley Cyrus was Miley Cyrus, and then she was Hannah Montana as a.
But isn't that the real
secret-
person?
Was Miley Cyrus in the show? Yeah.
Miley Cyrus played Miley Cyrus on the show.
Miley
and then she
Cyrus
had-
played Miley as a character, but then nobody knew
They
that
named
she
her
was
character?
also nobody also knew that she was Hannah Montana. Like it was like
because they were afraid for
was-
her safety. Like why would they?
right?
hide
Yeah,
that?
she was a superstar by night and just like a normal kid by day.
That's not how it works.
Okay.
I'm looking at this. This toy has got some broad shoulders. I don't know. This doll looks like they took like a G.I. Joe and made it to throw a dress on them. That's what the kids like these days. Oh, someone has a comparison of like I guess the original. I don't even know. This one looks kind of messed up. Oh, this is the old one. That's why. I don't know. Maybe you could do an unboxing next week.
She's staying in the box next to King Homer. She's not going out of the box.
She's an investment piece.
I can
keep her in there.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot I can search right in Blue Sky here, and we can see the audience can see what we're talking about.
Let someone else.
Unless it gives.
be the,
hey, see, here's the rest.
researcher here.
Here's the rest of them, or is this her in another outfit? They're only making Gem, but all her costume changes. Is this also Gem? But she's got like.
No, that's
kiss
one of the
makeup?
holograms.
That's one of the holograms, and her bass has a button here, so it must play. That's what plays the sound.
Yes.
You can hold the guitar. She's got like a guitar, like the fret holding hand. Appreciate that. This is the main.
Gem.
Does she come with an alternate outfit when she's back
She
to
comes with
Jerica?
15 different accessories, so I'm assuming.
That's a lot of. Looks like a lanyard with the backstage
Yeah.
pass. You could. There's the brush to brush her hair. Yeah, but look, one of the accessories is like a fake concert ticket. I hate when they do that. It's like these Zuru things. You 5 surprises. One of them's a pencil eraser.
Oh,
What a surprise that was. Yeah, a sticker. Get out of here. Oh, Popples. I can't wait for those. That's like, I don't know if that hand is like very realistic or it's like too large. There's something like freaking me out about the proportions of this doll. I don't like it. It's going to come to life. I don't think is that figure really there? They like photoshopped it in. It doesn't look like it exists in the same lighting. It doesn't look like it's really there. I was a big fan of Popples. There's like a Sears photograph, Sears, portrait studio photo of me with a Popple, which they like gave that to me to like smile, I guess. My Pet Monster, another thing next to my buddy.
Coming back.
But his eyes are not focused. They're like
No,
going
I
out
know.
different
And
directions.
he's smaller.
I don't like it.
And he's smaller.
He's
but-
smaller, yeah. Everything in this economy. All right, very good. There's Man Hands Gem again. Those are big hands, right? Those are big hands. I don't know. That's fine. To each his own. Anything else? Let me take a look. Someone wanted to talk about Mattel bricks and Mega Constructs. Apparently, Mattel makes Mega Constructs, but they're like putting it all under their own bricks brand now.
Okay.
And they're like the whole history of Mega Constructs never existed. Like, you've collected those. Forget about it. Get on the Mattel bricks bandwagon.
Yeah.
I asked for more information on this, and I was not provided it, so I cannot give
nothing.
any
I did see a comparison shot with other lines for that 4 Horseman dragon, just to show some scale.
So big? It's so big?
It's gigantic. It's huge.
You said it was like 6 feet? I can't even picture that.
From tail to head, if you like arrange the head
That's how
down.
tall we are. That's
right.
Paul and Bill sized. That's not right.
Yeah.
4. Do they spell their name with a number, or they?
I don't.
Oh, this person's.
I think it's.
I don't like this person's at. I don't like that. Let's get rid of that. I guess I could just cut this out if I don't like it. 4 Horseman Dragon. Let's see if this gives us what we want. Nope, these are pictures of furries.
Some furries.
This is not. This didn't give me what I wanted. That's the funny thing about Blue Sky too. It's like so new. It's like search only go back 2 weeks. There's like no other data to pull from. Oh well.
It's all furries.
We tried.
All originates
it's
with
all
furries.
Furries is a group to be reckoned with. You don't want to get on their bad side. I'll tell you what.
You don't.
All right, Bill. Anything else for this big week?
I got nothing.
You got
It was
nothing.
a good week.
All right. I think that was enough. It was a good week. Yeah. Usually the weeks after Toy Fair are a little slow, but I feel like there's been enough. I feel like in 2020 and 2019, we really coasted on the Ghostbusters coming back. And I feel like it's going to happen again. We followed this story from the inception. Now we have to see it through, and hopefully these are not just a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Because I want multiple. I want to open them. I want to have one just in case, one to sell, one to always be glowing in the dark. Put it in a box, just look in it. So we'll update you as the news unfolds. All right, Bill. Anything else? Did I ever ask you that? I forget how this works.
No, I think we're good.
You said no. Yeah, I think
we can move on.
You know what? Consume feculence and transpire. All right, everybody. Well, you know what they say. We don't want to grow up, but we already did. Have a great week, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
I still wanna be a Toys R